of Brandon, Manitoba. He's been a goalie coach for the Los Angeles Kings for almost 2 decades. And I think, Dave, this is the first episode we ever done with a coach that has cut me.
I don't know if you're familiar with this, Bill, but once upon a time, our good friend here, Travis Ridgen, did a social media excursion down to L.A. where the Kings asked for a bunch of whoever to come for an open tryout, and Trav here decided to make an impression and went down and did pretty well and got a lot of camera time, and then eventually got cut and got his walking papers by you.
Yeah, I think I cut a lot of guys. But you know what? I forgot all about that. That was quite a few years ago, and I remember because you had a camera crew with you, just a little bit of following you around and stuff on the ice, and it was one of those things that we were looking for emergency goalies, and our management group had this great idea. Why don't we open it up to everybody? And forgot that we were, as coaches, were working our butts off trying to win hockey games, and but it ended up being a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
So Bill cuts me. I remember this. We had about 30 guys. Bill says, sorry, pack your bags, 364 days, come back next year for tryouts. Jamie Storr comes over, says, where are you going? I said, Bill cut me. He said, no, get back in there. Bill doesn't know what he's talking about. Came back in, and then you cut me again. So you cut me twice in the same day. And we had 10
I don't know who I was cutting and who I moved. I don't think I was moving anybody on.
Ridgen. Oh, yeah, better luck next year.
Well, listen, as I tell this guy all the time, and I know you've heard this phrase numerous times, but it's show business. It's not show friends.
Exactly.
Well, and speaking of which, I'm curious to know, just to kind of break the ice here, going from player to where you are now, you see not only the game, but the whole industry from a different point of view. Do you remember a certain point in time where that literally clicked going, oh, I get it now?
I think it's tough. I'm at the point now where, I've gone from player to coach and now a little bit into management, and just the whole, you got to understand all avenues. And I think the biggest thing that I realized, especially once I became a coach, is you end up talking about players like they're not really human, and you got to catch yourself sometimes because you're just trying to win hockey games, but you sometimes forget that they are real people. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I learned early on, that they have families, they have wives, they have girlfriends, they have kids. You have to realize that, they're just not a jersey number, and you have to think about what, I went through as an individual, as a player. And so sometimes you just have to step back and not always look at the negative and look at what they do well.
Hey, more hockey content. It's might be old, it might be new, it might be a full episode, it might be a half episode, but you can click these boxes because who doesn't like clicking boxes?